12 of the creepiest photos ever taken. Throughout the years, the world has become a silent witness of the unfolding of events, even the most creepy and unsettling ones. Lucky or unlucky for us, some of these disturbing incidents have been captured on camera, sending chills down the spine to anyone who dares to get a glimpse of it. Perhaps it is the real story behind the image that makes it even more creepy and haunting. On this edition, we look at the 12 creepiest photos ever taken. Number 12. Strangest tradition of the Victorian era, post-mortem photography. Depicted in this photo a tradition of the Victorian era in memorializing their departed family member. For centuries, painting dead people together with other family members has been an important tradition. Some families would even preserve the remains of their loved ones and bury them only after 2 years. It is said that such was done to give time for other family members living in distant places to visit and take a photograph with their dear departed. Number 11. Child in cemetery. Sometime in 1946 to 1947, a woman named Mrs. Andrews visited the grave of her daughter Joyce, who died in 1945 at a young age of 17. Mrs. Andrews takes a photo of Joyce's grave marker, and when the film was developed, she was astounded to see the image of a small child happily playing at her daughter's grave. Mrs. Andrews swore she saw no child at the time she took the photo. After investigating the case, they found out that near Joyce's grave was the grave of 2 infant girls. Number 10. Ghost in the pilot's seat. This photo was taken in 1987 when Mrs. Sayre and some friends went to visit the Fleet Air Arms Station at Somerset, England. Although Mrs. Sayre insisted that there was no one sitting in the pilot's seat when the photo was taken, it is apparent that she has a companion dressed in white shirt. You may find it interesting to know that the helicopter was used during the Falkland War, though there is no information whether the pilot died in that aircraft. Number 9. A picture with Grandpa taken years after he died. Denise Russell shared this photo to share a creepy story behind it. The photo was taken in August the 17th, 1997, when her grandma was still alive at 94. On December 2000, family members browsed through some photos and found the one where her grandma gave a sweet smile while the male figure stood behind her. Russell never had any clue as to the identity of that man, until old photos of her grandpa was brought and looked exactly the same as the man behind her grandma. The creepy thing is that his grandpa died on August the 14th, 1984, long before the picture was taken. Number 8. Book bound by skin. Did you know that there is such a thing called anthropodermic bibliophagy, which means covering books in human skin? Imagine yourself browsing through a book bound by human skin. That's downright creepy. One of the few surviving examples is the one in UK owned by the Bristol Record Office. It was made from the skin of John Horwood, the first man to be hanged at Bristol jail after murdering his subject of infatuation, Eliza Hume. Number 7. These Mickey and Minnie Mouse costumes from the 1930s. The modern image of Mickey and Minnie Mouse is nowhere near these creepy figures. Well, we all know that they may have brought fun to kids during the 1930s, but I'm pretty sure not a single child would want to come near these disturbing costumes nowadays. Number 6. Auschwitz Gas Chamber. Auschwitz Gas Chamber has become a symbol of horror and trepidation during the Holocaust. And this image shows the futile attempt and desperation of the victims of genocide to get out and save themselves from imminent death. Today, these nail scratches remain a silent and powerful reminder of how humanity can be downright wicked and evil. Number 5. Island of Dolls. Who would even want to spend a night alone in this creepy and disturbing island full of terrifying dolls with their decapitated heads and severed limbs hanging all over the trees? Located south of Mexico City, Isla de Las Munecas is said to be haunted by a girl who drowned to death, and the dolls were offered for her poor soul. Number 4. Preserved medical oddities at the Mutter Museum. The Mutter Museum is home to several preserved skulls, spines, brains and other medical oddities you may think tremendously creepy and disturbing. Number 3. Post-mortem photography stand during Victorian Era. This photo is yet another creepy image depicting the funeral traditions during the Victorian Era. Do you believe that the girl in this photo is actually dead? Creepy and disturbing as it may seem, it is a tradition to get a photograph of the deceased standing and seemingly alive. They have managed to create a photography stand holding the body still during the photo session. Pictures will then be sent to relatives in the far-flung area to serve as a memorial of their dear departed. Number 2. Jonestown mass murder-suicide. This gruesome and horrible image is just hard to believe as true. On November the 18th, 1978, the world witnessed a terrible incident as some people of Jonestown willingly and voluntarily taken poison-laced punch while the others did so at gunpoint. It was said that Jim Jones, the charismatic churchman who established the People's Temple, induced the people to do such unfortunate incident in history as a revolutionary act. Death toll reached 909, including innocent children, in what the world called as the cult of death. Going on to the last creepy photo, at number 1 is melted and damaged mannequins. The 1925 fire incident at Madame Tussaud's Wax Museum in London left these creepy and disturbing images of her melted and damaged mannequins. With their charred skin and decapitated heads, it seems like they are casualties and victims of a war or a great plague. This wraps up the 12 creepiest photos ever taken. We hope you liked the video. Be sure to subscribe for more videos, and thank you for watching. Cheers!